Welcome back, viewers and subscribers. It's your girl, Star Flames, and we are back with another video. Now, guys, in this video, we're going to talk about that case with Jason Baldoni and Blake Lively, because it has now been discovered that Jason Baldoni, the producer of It Ends With Us, they've worked together by hiring Drake's PR girl to start a massive smear campaign against Blake Lively, which actually worked. And as such, Blake Lively has stepped forward in filing a lawsuit. And so far, there's so much discovery in the actions that Blake Lively has taken. Now, it is proven that the smear campaign was in fact launched against her, and it actually worked in Jason Baldoni's favor. And as such, Blake is taking it all the way to the court. She has also filed, I believe it's a discovery for the text messages of the plot against her to be revealed, and it's all coming out. Now, there's an article by the New York Times that details everything that has transpired in its entirety. I don't know if we can go through it all in this video, but if not, you bet your ass I'm gonna do a part 2 because I'm pretty interested and invested in this event. Now, in case you're not aware, Blake Lively worked on a box office hit. It Ends With Us with Jason Baldoni. Jason Baldoni did some inappropriate things as it relates to Blake Lively. There was one section of the script where they changed the script a bit and made her show a lot more skin than what was initially included in the script. Allegedly. Can we say allegedly? No. Let's dive into this report. They're saying last summer, as the release of It Ends With Us approached, Jason Baldoni, the director and a star of the film, and Jamie Heath, the lead producer, hired a crisis public relations expert. During shooting, Blake Lively, the co-star, had complained that the men had repeatedly violated physical boundaries and made sexual and other inappropriate comments to her. Their studio, Wayfarer, agreed to provide a full-time intimacy coordinator, bring in an outside producer, and put other safeguards on set. So that was after she filed a complaint saying that some unpleasantries are happening and it keeps happening. They said, okay, Blake, we're going to put these in motion to ensure that you're safe and you're protected. Now they're saying in a side letter to Miss Lively's contract signed by Mr. Heath, the studio also agreed not to retaliate against the actress, but honey, they did retaliate. Now let's continue. They're saying, but by August, the two men who had positioned themselves as feminist allies in the Me Too era expressed fears that her allegations would become public and taint them. According to a legal complaint that she filed Friday, it claims that their PR efforts had an explicit goal to harm Miss Lively's reputation instead. Her filing includes excerpts from thousands of pages of text messages and emails that she obtained through a subpoena. That's what she filed, the subpoena to get the messages. These and other documents were reviewed by the New York Times. There have long been figures behind the scenes shaping public opinion about celebrities through gossip columns, tabloids, and strategic interviews. The documents show an additional playbook for waging a largely undetectable smear campaign in the digital era. While the film about domestic violence was a box office hit, making nearly $350 million worldwide, online criticism of the actress skyrocketed. He wants to feel like she can be buried, a publicist working with the studio, and Mr. Baldoni wrote in an August 2nd message to the crisis management expert Melissa Nathan. "You know, we can bury anyone," Miss Nathan wrote. In the following week, Miss Nathan, whose clients have included Johnny Depp and the rappers Drake and Travis Scott, went hard at the press, pushing to prevent stories about Mr. Baldoni's behavior and reinforce negative ones about Miss Lively, the text messages. The text messages showed Chad Wallace, a self-described hired gun, led a digital strategy that included boosting social media posts that could help their case. An attorney for Wear Fear said in a statement to the Times that the studio, its executive, and public relations representative did nothing provocative nor retaliated against Miss Lively, and accused the actress of another desperate attempt to fix her negative reputation. Just imagine. These claims are completely false, outrageous, and intentionally salacious, with an intent to publicly hurt and rehash a negative in the media, the lawyer Brian Friedman wrote. Mr. Friedman did not address her allegations about misconduct during the filming by Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath. He alleged that Miss Lively planted negative and completely fabricated and false stories with media about Mr. Baldoni, which he said was another reason why Wayfarer Studio made the decision to hire a crisis professional. The effort to tarnish Miss Lively appears to have paid off. Within days of the film's release, the negative media coverage and commentary became an unusually high percentage of her online presence, according to a forensic review she sought from a brand. Marketing consultant Miss Lively, who is married to the actor and entrepreneur Ryan Reynolds of Deadpool fame and is close with Taylor Swift, experienced the biggest reputational hit of her career. She was branded tone deaf, difficult to work with, a bully. Sales of her new hair care line plummeted. Oh my God. They really did a number on her. Is Blake Lively set to be cancelled? Read a Daily Mail headline 1 week into the attacks. Mr. Baldoni, by contrast, emerged largely unscathed. This month, he was honored at a star-studded event celebrating men who elevate women, combat gender-based violence, and promote gender equality worldwide. On Saturday, however, after this article was published, the talent agency William Morris Endeavor stopped representing Mr. Baldoni, said Ari Emanuel, chief executive of Endeavor, the agency's parent company. Miss Lively complaints against Mr. Baldoni, Mr. Heath, Wayfarer, Steve Sorowitz, a co-founder of the studio, Mr. Wallace, Miss Nathan, and Jennifer Abel, another public relations executive involved in the campaign, alleges sexual harassment and retaliation, among other claims. The complainant filed with the California Civil Rights Department is a precursor to a lawsuit. In a statement, Ms. Lively said, "I hope that my legal action helps pull back the curtain on these sinister retaliatory tactics to harm people who speak up about misconduct and helps protect others who may be targeted." She also denied that she or any of her representatives planted or spread negative information about Mr. Baldoni or Wayfarer. They say she should have a plan. Now, I'm scrolling with one hand. So they're saying in May, several months after the filming wrapped, Mr. Baldoni realized that Mr. Reynolds had blocked him on Instagram. We should have a plan for IF. She does the same when a movie comes out, Mr. Baldoni wrote of Miss Lively in a text exchange that includes Miss Abel, a publicist who has long worked with him, and Wayfarer plans to make me feel more at ease. Mr. Baldoni, 40, and Mr. Heath, 55, add a lot writing on the film. Okay. Which is based on a best-selling novel by Colleen Hoover. Mr. Baldoni was best known for the CW satirical romantic dramedy Jane the Virgin. Wayfarer provided the resources for bigger ambitions. It was bankrolled by the billionaire Steve Sorowitz, who is co-chair of the studio with Mr. Baldoni. They and Mr. Heath, the chief executive, are all deeply involved with the Baha'i religious organization which promotes unity, peace, and gender equality. OMG. Can you imagine? Mr. Baldoni has represented himself as an ally to women, writing books, co-hosting podcasts with Mr. Heath, and giving talks on toxic masculinity. Miss Lively, 37, was by far the biggest star the TV show Gossip Girl catapulted her to early fame, and she appeared in films ranging from The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants to The Town. She built businesses outside the entertainment industry, appeared on the covers of glossy magazines, and amassed more than 45 million Instagram followers. Miss Lively had expressed concerns about Mr. Baldoni from the beginning, according to her legal complaint. Before shooting began, for example, she objected to sex scenes he wanted to add that she considered gratuitous. Now, the report further states, our client is willing to forego a more formal HR process in favor of everyone returning to work and finishing the film as long as the set is safe moving forward, her legal team wrote to the studio. She detailed her complaint during a meeting with Mr. Baldoni, Mr. Heath, and other producers in January, according to the legal filing. She claimed Mr. Baldoni had improvised unwanted kissing and discussed his sex life, including encounters in which he said he may not have received consent. Mr. Heath had shown her a video of his wife naked, she said, and he had watched Miss Lively in her trailer when she was topless and having body makeup removed. Despite her asking him to look away, she said that both men repeatedly entered her makeup trailer uninvited while she was undressed, including when she was breastfeeding. In agreeing to the terms that Miss Lively sought, Wayfarer acknowledged that although our perspective differs in many aspects, ensuring a safe environment for all is paramount, according to her legal complaint. This is so unpleasant to know that Blake went through all of this and they had a smear campaign against her. They're saying as the film release neared, Miss Lively and other cast members informed Sony and Wayfarer that they would not do any appearances alongside Mr. Baldoni. So did Miss Hoover, the author, who had her own dissatisfaction with him and had become more upset after he told her about Miss Lively's allegations, according to text messages from Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath. Now, they're saying most importantly, untraceable. By the first week of August, Wayfarer and Mr. Baldoni had retained Miss Nathan, who had worked with high-profile clients, including Mr. Depp, whose ex-wife Amber Heard accused him of physical abuse. Mr. Depp successfully sued Miss Amber Heard for defamation, and the trial became a spectacle amid suspicions of an online campaign to damage her credibility. Now, this year, after a decade at the New York consultancy Iltzik Strategies, Miss Nathan started her own firm, Tag PR. Its majority stakeholder is a company run by the entertainment industry executive Scooter Braun. Okay, Scooter Braun. In an initial planning document sent to Wayfarer and Mr. Baldoni on August 2nd, Ms. Nathan suggested media talking points, including that Ms. Lively used an imbalance of power to take creative control of the film, but Mr. Baldoni wanted more. Wow. Okay, guys, so we're gonna have to do a part 2 on this. The video in itself is at almost 17 minutes, so we're gonna end about 18 minutes there and some seconds. So we're gonna tag this video as part 1, and then tomorrow we're gonna go into part 2. Now, part 2 consists of the text messages wherein they had planned the smear campaign against Blake Lively, and Mr. Nathan and Baldoni laughing, saying they can't believe that social media believes that she would do all of this. So they prepared the smear campaign. They orchestrated the smear campaign against Blake Lively. And when it was going better than expected, they were laughing and saying, oh my God, we can't believe the internet would believe that Blake would do these things. Blake is not capable of these things, but still yet the internet believes that she's doing this. Oh my God, I can't believe that they were so fool to fall for this. So we're going to get into the text messages tomorrow, but I wanted to do this video just to show to you guys how the industry works. They can start a smear campaign against even the most innocent for doing the right thing, just for being a whistleblower, and then your entire career is ruined. Because now we have people on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter saying, no matter what they say, Blake cannot come back from this. But I do hope that once all the details are revealed out in the open, they realize that, well, some people, they're not going to change their mind. But I hope that it does help, because I do think that Blake Lively is an amazing actress. Not saying that she is free of blame or is such a perfectionist, but I definitely believe the allegations in her case and the messages and other communications are there as supporting evidence to back up her statement. But it's your time to chime in. What are your thoughts? While you're at it, thumbs up, share, stay safe, and see you guys later. Peace.